Previously on The Walking Dead, Dead City.
Pick up The Walking. Channel 5.
I like this Jenny a lot better now. Also, can we just take a second to acknowledge that Negan was rocking that friggin' cowboy hat? I'm just gonna point that out. He flips on him, he literally gets him right in the head with whatever the hell that thing was, and he murders Luther. He falls on the ground, and like that metal thing goes right in the back of his head and kills him. And that is the death of Luther. Negan's kills in Dead City are absolutely spectacular. I mean, honestly.
We'll crack open some tequila. We'll talk. We'll work it out. And I am very disappointed.
Oh man, it's nice to have Simon back.
Hey guys, it's Dan, your host of your Dan's Reviews, and today I'm back for another video for The Walking Dead, Dead City. We are here to do our weekly review for this week's episode. This one is our review for Season 1, Episode 4, titled Everyone Wins a Prize.
Hey! Follow me!
Egan?
Bowen!
Nothing to be afraid of. It's only me.
Alright guys, this one's going to be doing another review today. This one's going to be doing another video for The Walking Dead, Dead City. And today's we're going to be doing our weekly review for this week's episode. This is our review for Season 1, Episode 4. This one is titled, Everyone Wins a Prize. So, this is the third last episode of the season. We are now over halfway through. Next week is the penultimate episode already for The Walking Dead, Dead City. It's been a very, very fun season. Very much I've been enjoying Dead City so far. And guys, I think we just witnessed the best episode of the bunch yet. This episode was so damn good. I mean, honestly, from the beginning, from the second it started, I fucking love this episode. And you guys know what I'm talking about. They brought back the man himself. They brought back Stephen Ogg as Simon for a cameo, and I am so thrilled that they did that. So let's just jump right into it. The episode starts off with an incredible flashback of Negan when he was leading the Saviors. They dyed his hair black. He's got like the black, and the beard and stuff. That's how you know it's old. And he's, sitting there, he's like, drinking a beer and stuff like that. He's like writing stuff down. And Simon comes in and tells him that they may have a little bit of a problem. So that was a phenomenal scene. I love seeing Simon just walk in there. As soon as I heard him say Neegs, I knew who the hell that was exactly. Now, here's the thing. We knew that Simon was going to be in this because there were a lot of spoilers releasing, so unfortunately I was kind of spoiled on this. But I didn't expect it to happen in this kind of way, and I really liked how they did it because, they didn't bring Simon in just to bring Simon in just to, get views for the show or something. No, they kept it secret. They didn't promote it in trailers. And they did it for the plot. They did it for the story, which is therefore to show why Negan, kicked out the Croat to begin with. Because after the intro, we see Negan and Simon, they walk down into the room, the torture room, and you got the Croat, who is still with Negan at the time. And you even have Simon that kind of steps foot, in front of him, and he's just like, we don't torture kids here. We don't do that, And Simon's one to talk, because Simon killed, every boy over the age of 10. But this is a 7-year-old girl, and even Simon's looking at, the Croat, and he's like, no, that's not what we do here, And, Simon really is not a big fan of this. Negan obviously is not a fan of this, and we know that Negan tries to blow his damn ear off, but unfortunately it misses. But anyway, it was so amazing to see that sequence. I'm so grateful that, Stephen Ogg could come back and do a scene like that, because it just made me so hyped to see, the rest of the episode. And even though it was only the first 5 minutes, it was a really phenomenal scene, and I really appreciate Stephen Ogg coming back and doing that. That is such a highlight for Dead City, if you ask me. So Negan's remembering this, and then we go to the current timeline. They're sitting there wondering where Luther is. Obviously Negan killed him last episode, and they basically lie right to everybody's faces. They act like Luther just ran off because he didn't agree with the plan they were doing or something like that. And anyway, they basically then sneak in. They go underground and stuff like that, and they're going to break into the Croat's sanctuary. They're going to break into his place. And, you know, they find a whole bunch of, like, you know, people that have been, like, tortured down there and stuff like that. There was, like, one, you know, kid or whatever that was down there. Maggie puts, like, the walker version of him down and stuff. She kind of thinks it's Herschel, but it's not and stuff. And Negan has a plan. He's going to divert the Croat away while Maggie and the others go in there, right? And basically, you've got Maggie, you've got Amaya, you've got Tommaso, and you've got the others, and they go basically inside of this location, right? Meanwhile, Negan distracts the Croat. Now, you had a really interesting scene where you had the Croat and, like, this young kid that was, like, controlling this, like, big operation or whatever, and the kid kind of seemed afraid of the Croat, and the Croat kind of looks at him, and he's just like, you know, you don't have to be afraid of me. Why are you afraid of me? And it's like, what? Really? You really gonna ask that question? You're fucking psycho, dude. But anyway, he is... yeah, he knows that, you know, Negan and them are coming. He hears the whistle, and it completely distracts the Croat. The Croat completely gets distracted, and he's like, Negan, like, you know, where are you? That sort of thing. And Negan lures him out. The plan works perfectly. He literally hides behind, like, a taxi car or whatever, and he even has to hide inside it at one point because the Croat is getting very close. And the Croat almost catches him. It's pretty close. Like, there's a moment where his men kind of, like, are, like, walking around and stuff like that, and they walk out into the distance and stuff, and, you know, Negan's, like, hiding inside the car. And there's one moment where one of Croat's guys moves the taxi, and somehow Negan's just gone. I don't know how he got out of there, but it was a close call. The Croat almost caught him, but it's a diversion so Maggie and the others can go in there. Now, unfortunately, Maggie and the others kind of run into some trouble as well, too, because Jenny runs into Maggie. So Maggie, of course, finds Jenny, and Jenny, you know, goes with them. We saw last episode, you know, Jenny, of course, roaming around, you know, in the city and stuff like that. So now we see Jenny. She runs into Maggie and the others. And you got a whole bunch of walkers that are in here. Now, they get caught inside of the arena. They get caught inside of, like, the whole, you know, fighting area and stuff. And they basically, you know, like, take, like, these mats or whatever, and they use them as, like, shields or whatever, just to kind of, like, block them or whatever, and, you know, kind of keep cover. And anyway, it's a really, really exciting sequence. They're killing, you know, zombie after zombie. There's even a close call for Tommaso in this episode, which I did think for a moment he was going to die. Luckily, he didn't, but it was a close call, for sure. It was definitely really close for him. I like Tommaso and I like Amaya. I hope that they both survive this season because I think they're really, really cool characters. But yeah, the overall fight in the arena was incredible. You know, you got Negan and the Croat, and then you've got these guys doing their thing and, you know, killing the zombies and stuff like that. And they do manage to get out, but it's a pretty tough one. Now, we also get to see probably another one of the greatest scenes of the episode, which is the interaction between the Croat and Negan. So, Negan, of course, runs into him. He, of course, you know, finally catches up. And they kind of talk to each other, and he's like, Negan, my brother, you know, and he's like all friggin' psycho sounding, and he's just like, you know, hey, well, you lost the sanctuary, that's alright, we got one right here, Negan, like, you know, I made sure to build the sanctuary, just like you would want me to, that sort of thing, and I'm like, holy shit, man, this guy's insane. And Negan doesn't give a shit. He's just like, where's the kid? Where's Herschel? And he brings out Armstrong as a captive, right? And uses him as leverage against Negan, and he threatens to kill him too. And Negan says, like, no, I want the kid. I want Herschel, you know? And he's like, you're still working with the widow. Okay. And he's like, well, giving Herschel back, that part's gonna be a little tricky, you know? And I'm like, oh my goodness, man. And anyway, he kind of looks at him and he's kind of like, okay, so, like, you know, what do you want to do? And he throws Armstrong overboard. Armstrong, of course, gets saved by Negan in the nick of time. Negan does help him out, although, you know, the Croat tries to shoot him in the leg, which is pretty insane. But yeah, this was a really, really cool sequence. I love the standoff between Negan and the Croat. It was really, really intense. And Armstrong and Negan escape, which I thought was really cool. And Negan, unfortunately, was not able to get Herschel back for Maggie. Now, Maggie and the others are kind of in a terrible situation because they run away from the arena, but now they have to, in order to get out of there, they have to go through the sewers, which there's a major warning sign. There's like a whole bunch of stuff going on there. But Maggie and Tommaso and Amaya and, you know, a couple others, and Jenny, they have to go through the sewers in order to escape, which is really, really insane. So that's how the episode kind of concludes with them on their way down. They're going to go to the, through the sewers, and they're going to try to escape that way, which, we'll have to see next episode what happens. But we do know based off the trailers that Maggie runs into a pretty freaky looking zombie, so it's going to be pretty darn intense. But, yeah, very, very excited to see where that plays out. But the last thing I wanted to mention for this episode, and this one was kind of a surprise to me, is that when Negan and Armstrong kind of make it, away from everybody and they escape, Armstrong actually pulls a weapon on Negan. So he still is angry, and Negan's just like, you're a dick, which I thought was really cool. So, yeah, this was a phenomenal episode. This has to be the best Dead City episode of the bunch. I mean, the Croat and Negan standoff was incredible. Armstrong escaping was cool. The Simon cameo, I mean, that was so brilliantly done. That was such an incredible scene. And the, Tommaso, close call, the fight in the arena, lots of amazing cinematography. The visuals of the episode were absolutely incredible. The setting was amazing. This whole episode was flawless to me. I absolutely have no issues with it. So I'm going to drop another 10 out of 10. This, show is absolutely on fire. Dead City is continuing to impress me, and I honestly, I knew the show would be good, but I didn't know it would be this good. This show is absolutely spectacular. Croat is a phenomenal villain, and I'm so excited to see what they do with him next. I'm so excited to see what they do next with Negan as well. Just these last two episodes, and how the hell they're going to cap this off, you know what I mean? Because I would reckon there's going to be some sort of major cliffhanger at the end of this season. Based off of how everything's going, yeah, we're probably going to be left on a hanger. So, anyway, let me know in the comment section below. If you're new to the channel, guys, and of course you enjoy this video, make sure to click the subscribe button so you don't miss any of the videos for The Walking Dead Dead City. Make sure to follow me on Dan's The Walking Dead reviews on Instagram, guys. And of course, I'll see you guys very soon for more videos of The Walking Dead Dead City. Enjoy the rest of the day, guys, and peace out.